I am shooting a pre-recorded version of our Monday morning breathwork now because I happen to be in Ecuador at this exact moment. I am site scouting a potential recal trip down there in the Amazon, and I will be there for 3 total Mondays actually. So this pre-recorded version is going to be the next few Mondays. I may be able to record a new version for Monday, July 4th. But if not, then I'll go ahead and just slot this one in there. So, um, yeah, that's what's going on here. I am fresh back from the Boundary Waters canoe area in northern Minnesota, where we held a recal trip as part of our Quiet Park trip series in collaboration with Quiet Parks International. So I actually have a little treat for everybody here on this Monday morning breathwork. We are going to actually be listening to a few sounds from a very special person. His name is Matt Mickelson from Quiet Parks International. He's a acoustic ecologist. He records sounds in natural environments, and he actually recorded some sound of loons in the Boundary Waters area. And so during our breathwork today, actually, I am going to play some of those recordings for you during our retention holds. So the trip was incredible. Just a real quick note on the trip itself. The intention around the trip was to go into this place with external quiet, aka the void of human-made noise and sounds, and go into a place that has only natural sounds. It is a place that humans grew up in a way. A lot of the systems that we have in our body and our mind and everything that's happening here actually evolved in a time period where those sounds are second nature to our body. It's kind of like home, as I like to put it actually during the trip. And so the intention around the trip was, while in the external quiet, was to achieve inner quiet. And inner quiet can actually happen anywhere. We did an exercise with all of the guests on the trip of just a prompted question of, name a time in your life where you felt the most quiet. And it was really interesting to me that almost none of the answers actually had anything to do with the external quiet. The times in people's lives where they felt the most quiet came from within. And that type of thing can be achieved at any point in time, depending on where your mindfulness practice might be. And so that's what I actually want to open up with and offer to you this morning on a Monday morning, that no matter what's happening in your day or what's happening in your mind, even on occasion, you can always pause and just observe and achieve a level of inner quiet. So that's what we're going to focus on today's breathwork session. So if you're not already, go ahead and find a nice quiet space to lie down. And if you'd like, grab a pillow, maybe put it under your knees. Sometimes that does help with lower back pain, as well as create alignment with your diaphragm breathing muscle and the rest of your body for breathing. Also, you can have a blanket handy. Maybe you want to use that blanket to cover yourself during the breathwork session. Sometimes our body temperature changes a little bit during this style of activation breathwork. What we're going to do today is just a little warm-up exercise, something I do often. It's just an in-out scan is what I call it. And in fact, I get that really from the great Jesse Coomer. In-out scan. It's something that we actually used on a recent recal trip with Jesse, called the Great Midwestern Reset, where we were working with first responders, and we practiced the in-out scan. Basically, you just take an inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and then scan your body from your feet all the way up to your head. Just in that moment, just do a quick scan. And then you go back, inhale, exhale, scan. Inhale, exhale, scan. So that's going to be our warm-up. And then we're going to do 3 rounds of Wim Hof style activation breathwork, where we breathe deeply from our belly into our chest, and then we let it go. Belly, chest, let it go. That style of breathing pattern, we do that for 30 to 40 breaths. And then at the tail end of that, I will guide us into a retention or a breath hold. In other words, where we exhale our breath out and then we hold, and we'll hold for a little while. I will count us down. That's where we may hear some sounds from the boundary waters, some loons calling in the evening. And then after our hold is done, you'll take a deep breath in and hold that for just about 10 to 15 seconds. That's our recovery breath. And then let that go. And then I'll guide us through another 2 rounds of that style breathing. So again, we're going to be doing an in-out scan as our warm-up, and then we'll do 3 rounds of Wim Hof style activation breathwork. I hope you enjoy this session, and please feel free to reach out to me at any point in time. Although I'll be in the Amazon when you're watching this, I love coming back and seeing what type of comments and direct messages I do have around these breathworks. It's very special for me to be able to share my practice with you. So thank you. Just a couple of housekeeping items, a few warnings in case you are pregnant. Do not do this style of deep breathing. If you're epileptic, also, we do not recommend that you do this style of breathing. And also just a note, this style of breathwork session can create tingling sensations in the hands or the feet or in your face. That is completely natural. And if you feel uncomfortable at any point in time, you know that you are in control of the pace at which you're breathing, and you can slow it down if you feel that you don't like that. If you want to lean into some of those sensations, everything will be fine. You can keep breathing and maybe even have a deeper experience. But whatever you decide, you are in control. Okay, I think that is it for now. Hopefully you found that space, that quiet space, and a blanket and a pillow nearby, and we can go ahead and begin. As you're lying down with your hands to your sides, I just want you to start to notice the breath. Notice the breath going in your nose. Notice the breath going out of your nose. What an incredible sensation that happens almost on autopilot all day, every day. Let's be intentional about noticing that this morning. Feeling the breath going in, feeling the breath going out. Now let's begin our in-out scan. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Now scan your body from your toes up to your head. In, out, scan. In, out, scan. What's going on in your body? Listen to your body in this moment. In, out, scan. In, out, scan. Again, in, out, scan. In, out, scan. Great. I hope that you have a better sense this morning of what's happening inside your body and what you maybe feel in this moment. Any sensations that are happening inside, we just called attention to that and brought some mindful awareness to it. Now, what is your intention for this morning as a whole? Maybe it's to be grounded where you are, feeling the ground beneath you, feeling that home is right here where your feet are. Or maybe your intention is to bring more mindful awareness to how your body feels throughout the day. Listen to it, finding some inner quiet, even at times that externally there's a lot of sound and noise around you. We'll now begin the Wim Hof breathing. I invite you to just take a deep breath all the way in, filling up your lungs, breathing in through your nose. And keep breathing in. Sip those last little bits of air in, reaching your full capacity. And now let that breath go. Just take another deep breath all the way in, filling the lungs, noticing how does your body feel right now. Maybe you feel your heartbeat. And now let that air go. Now breathe in again, into the belly, into the chest, and let it go. Deeply into the bottom of our lungs, in the belly, into our chest, and then let it go. Deeply in, and let it go. In, and let it go. Keep going on your own. You can breathe in through your nose or your mouth, whatever you feel comfortable with. Just breathe deep into the bottom of our lungs, pulling the air in and then into our chest, and then let it go. You're doing great. Focus on nothing but the breath. Feeling the air as you pull it into your lungs, and then feeling the air as it exits your lungs. Just a few more breaths. Keep going. 5 more breaths. 4 more breaths. 3. 2. 1. And now take a deep breath all the way in and let it go. One last breath all the way in and let it go. And hold. Holding the breath. Now we're going to hear some sounds from the boundary waters. Loons as they call in the night. Imagine doing this breath work, lying down in the evening, and Mother Nature around you wakes up. That's a very natural sound for our ears. And even if you can hold your breath for longer, in 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath all the way in and hold that breath and scan your body from your toes to your knees to your hips, all the way up your chest to your head, and let that breath go. Now, once more, scan your body. How do you feel right now? We'll begin another round of breathing now. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and out. In, out. On your own. You are in control of your breath at all times. Like the pilot flying the ship, flying the plane, captaining the ship, you are in control of the air coming in and the air going out. We do this automatically throughout the day, but now this morning, we're doing this with conscious and intentional effort. If you feel comfortable, you can begin to pick up your pace. Again, you're in control of the breath. Inhale and exhale. Each one with intention. About halfway there. Keep going. You're doing great. Filling the lungs from the belly into your chest and then letting it go. Full and deep breaths here. Ten more breaths. Keep going. Five more breaths. Four, three, two, one. Now take a breath all the way in with everyone around the world listening to this recording, and let it go. Once more, all the way in, and let it go. And when you let it go, relax your body, relax your mind, sinking into the ground beneath you. And I'm going to play another sound, this time a sound that's very familiar to us, and it's the beginning of thunder in the distance, as if you're lying down in a field as a storm rolls in. Our ears and our body are very familiar with that sound. And now, even if you can hold your breath for longer, in 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath all the way in and hold that breath. What can you hear around you? Are there any sounds within earshot? In 3, 2, 1, let that air go. And as you exhale, scan your body from your toes all the way up to your head. How do you feel? Okay, we'll start our last round of breathing now. Breathing deeply into our belly and into our chest, and let it go. Deeply into our belly, into our chest, and let it go. Belly, chest, let it go. Keep going. Being mindfully aware of the breath as it's being pulled into our lungs, and aware of the breath as it leaves our mouth or our nose. Keep breathing. Again, like the captain of the ship, you are in control of your breath, And you can choose to start to pick up speed, making each breath deeper than the last one. The time between breaths just a bit shorter, pulling the air in and then letting it go. Keep going. You're doing great. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more breaths, 4 more breaths, 3, 2, 1. And now everybody in unison, everybody from around the world, deeply in and let it go. Last one, all the way in and let it go. And hold that breath, holding after the exhale. And in the stillness of this hold, focus on nothing. Nothing but the quiet inside your own mind. If any thoughts emerge or start swirling around in your head, acknowledge that thought without judgment. Know that that's okay. But let that thought go right on by and come back to the stillness in your mind. If you're able to, keep holding your breath with me for just a bit longer. If you have the urge to breathe, take your recovery breath. Otherwise, keep holding, keep clearing your mind. And now I invite everyone in 3, 2, 1, deep breath, pulling in as much air as you can, filling your lungs, and hold that breath. And just notice whatever there is to be noticed. And now I invite you in 3, 2, 1. Let that air go. And as you exhale, Relax your body, relax your mind, allowing any and all thoughts to roll on by as if you're sitting in the field listening to thunder and a storm rolling by in the distance. Lying down, feeling the contact of the ground beneath you. Start to bring some awareness back to the space around you. Maybe you can do this by wiggling your fingers, feeling the movement of your fingers as you wiggle them. Do the same thing with your toes, calling attention to your toes. Do this simultaneously with your fingers and your toes. Notice what rhythm maybe you're creating. And now take a deep breath all the way in and sigh that breath out. Take another breath in, but this time make it a yawn. Yawning, yawning. One more yawn to reset the nervous system. You can open your eyes if they're closed. You can roll to one side if that's how you comfortably like to get off the ground, or just come straight up. Hello. Good morning again. Notice maybe how you feel differently than before you started this breathwork session. Thank you for joining. Thank you for allowing me to share my practice with you. It really is an honor to do these breathwork sessions and have all of you joining them on Monday mornings. Again, at the moment, I am in Ecuador in the Amazon scouting out a potential future recal trip. So if you do send any messages to me after this, please allow just a little bit of time for me to get back to you. Expect this recording to be used a couple of times. And then after the 4th of July, I will be back and able to do another live session for you all. Have a great Monday, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.